Okay, so I know this is a bit confusing for newer people or people that just have only played on one of these. So I'm going to explain real quick what these are, and then I'm going to give a more in-depth explanation. So, missions. Missions are actually the original way Icarus was designed to be played. You drop down, you do some objectives, you leave, you get paid, you buy new workshop equipment. Sometimes it unlocks new items to build and craft. All in all, this is your kind of original bread and butter design of Icarus. You have two maps to choose from. You have Olympus and Styx. Please do Olympus first. Styx is a nightmare if you're on a low-level character. You will get eaten. Now, as for Outpost, Outposts are your kind of sandbox. You get 25% XP, which is nothing. But every time you log in and log out, every resource automatically refills. If you just want to build stuff and explore how to build, go do an easy outpost and just, it's nothing but peaceful animals, deer, and everything like that. And build something, just to figure out how it works. Open world is the newest Icarus, expansion. Basically, open world is an actual upgrade of Outpost. It is your traditional survival world. It is almost identical to missions in difficulty, but you can't earn money. There is no exotics. The only place to get exotics is in missions. As such, open world is a great place to level up. It's a great place to build crazy stuff. If you want to just kind of experience Icarus as it is, that is your open world. If you just want to, let's say you finish most of the missions, well, you can go play open world until new stuff comes out. Now, to go into more in-depth, you have two options for missions, Olympus and Styx. Now, I recommend starting off with Olympus. As you can see, it has this branching progression system. Now, here's the thing. You see these little yellow ones right here? If you complete these missions, it lets you create new pieces of technology. For instance, if you do this pot shot training, it gives you target dummies. That's great if you want to, you can set a few of them up. You can stand way back with a rifle or weapon you want to test. Maybe you want to see how much damage it does. Really nice piece of technology to add to your game. As you go through all these, here you go. Here's a purple one. You get mining manual exotics. That means little nuggets of exotics will appear. And as you go through all these, you can see, oh, here's another. And as each of them, you kind of just learn. But to go to the basics of it, let's say, I'm going to go to Strange Harvest. It pays me 85 Ren and 0 exotics. I can choose easy, medium, or hard, so on and so on. This is your kind of, you drop down, you do the stuff. Now, you'll notice that each of these have timers next to them. This is in-game play time. It was originally designed to be real-time, but they realized that just was not feasible for most people, so it's now only in-game time. That's why the older missions have these crazy 7 days or 15 days, but the newer missions are like 6 hours. Because this was meant to give you 7 real-life days to complete the mission, with it counting down as you slept in real life and stuff like that. Whereas now the newer in-game timers are less. Now, I do want to point out some misconceptions. You used to be able to die permanently in Icarus missions. As far as I understand, you do not do that anymore. I always say that because this game is subject to change, and knowing my luck, the developers will figure out some way to add an extra hard mode that brings that back. So, but going into this, you now, instead of losing your character, you lose your equipment loadout if you fail the mission. Like, let's say that I take 3 hours to do this pot shot training. My character is fine, but whatever I brought down, it's deleted. It's gone. Unless I insure it. At which point insurance costs 33% of the payday. And so on. Now, certain missions have different payouts. All of them have different things. Now, as for Styx missions, you get these 4 starter missions. These 4 starting missions actually unlock shortcuts on the map. This allows you to travel through, basically you blow up something, you tunnel through a wall, you discover an item. It gives you a much better way to get around the Styx map, so these are the 4 that I recommend doing. Those are the first ones you're going to want to do. As more missions come along, they get added to the list, and you get to go and play them. Now, also, as new maps are added, new missions come to them as well. Outpost, in more depth. This is your standard outpost, the Arkwood Outpost. It is a standard forest map. I have the upgraded version of this game. As such, I get the Ice Home and the Hold Fast. Ice Home is literally an ice map. The Hold Fast is a Riverlands map. Now, this used to be very good, but it's more just for fun now because of the open world map. Once again, I only get 25% XP on it. I have unlimited resources for all intents and purposes. It's a really good place if you want to build, like maybe you want to build a giant concrete pyramid. Maybe you want to just see how far, thatch walls will go upward so that you can kind of tweak your building skills. All in all, this is a much easier and forgiving landscape. Open world. Once again, you have Olympus and Styx. Styx is the more advanced again. Okay, so let's say that you're starting an open world. Alright, I've already named it Test. You have easy, medium, and hard. Once I claim, I can just sit there and go, okay, well, I'm not really doing this, but I can add stuff to my list. I confirm loadout. I actually choose from one of these 5 drop points on Olympus. This is where your drop pod is always going to be located. Each zone is a little bit more difficult. For instance, if you're really new to the game, use the bottom right. It's much easier. The bottom left is the next easiest. The ice area is different. It is a lot more about the cold and environment. There's a lot of wolves and things there. So like I said, each of these areas have their own pros and cons. It's up to you to decide which ones you want to really go to. These are the 2 most high levels. This is pretty much going to be the area that you're going to want to do if you're, a higher level and you're looking for a challenge. But, as all in all, you come down to the open world. Now, can you leave the open world? Yes. If you get back into your pod, you can actually exit the open world. It will still be there. You don't also have to leave the mission to actually go do something else. Let's say you want to go play a mission. You can jump right into a mission without leaving this. The only thing is, whatever equipment you have on this planet will still be in that mission and thus unavailable. So you're going to want to have several copies of equipment if you plan to do something like that. Or you can get back into your drop pod and leave and then come back down into the mission with it. And with that, I hope this gave you at least a basic understanding of the 3 different map systems of Icarus. I know it can get a little confusing. It is actually a deceptively large game. And with that, I hope you'll have a great week.